Hello amazing families, welcome back to our channel. My name is Esther and this is Q-Est Fashion Up. If you're new here, you're welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, you are also welcome back. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make this beautiful top on the thumbnail. If this sounds like what you're interested in, let's go into it. So this is the fabric I'm going to be using. So what you have to make sure is your fabric has to be stretchy on both sides. Okay, make sure you're using a very stretchy fabric for this top. Okay, so this is the fabric I'm going to be using. So the part that is stretchy is the part that is going to go around the body. Okay, so these are the pieces that I'm going to be using for this top. I already cut them out, but I'm going to be explaining to you the measurements I used. This is 3.5 inches by 5 inches. Okay, 3.5 by 5. Okay, this is the measurement for this small piece. Okay, now for this big piece, I'm going to be explaining the dimension I used. So let me open it up for you guys to see. Can you see? So this is the main piece, which is the big piece that is going to be used for the upper part. Now I'm going to be showing you how to take the bottom measurement for this top. Now the first thing you're going to do is to place your tape rule. The top is divided into two. Now the first one will stop at the underbust, and the second one start from the underbust to the length of the top. Now you're going to place your tape rule from one underbust like this, like you can see me do. You're going to now place your tape around the neckline and then stop at the second underbust. Do you see what I did? You start from one underbust, you go around the neck and stop at the second underbust. Okay, now after you're done doing that, can you see? Go around the neck and then stop at the underbust. Okay, that's the first measurement you're going to be taking. You need 3 measurements for this top. Okay, now after you're done taking that measurement, you're going to place your tape rule at your underbust and measure the remaining part of the top. Okay, so for me it's going to be like 7 inches. Okay, so you could stop at 6 or 7, or you could even make it a gown. So if you want it to be a gown, just extend your tape rule down to the length of the gown that you want to use. Okay, so for me, I'm going to, like I said earlier, I'm going to stop at 7 inches after the underbust. Now after that, you're going to place your tape around the waistline. Okay, so now you're not going to use your main waistline. You're going to measure around the underbust region. Okay, after the underbust, around that part, go ahead and measure around it, like you can see me do. So these are the 3 measurements you need for this top. So make sure it is firm. Okay, make sure it is firm. So these are the 3 measurements you will need for this top. Now at this point, so this is the upper part of the top. Okay, now for me, the measurements needed is 33 inches from one underbust around the neck, and then go back to the second underbust. This particular top that I'm working on, it is 33 inches for that particular one. Okay, and remember I said the fabric should be very stretchy. Okay, now you're using a very stretchy fabric, so I'm not going to add any allowance to it. So for the wideness of that part, what you're going to do is to divide your bust by 2. Okay, if the bust you're working with is 40, when you divide it by 2, it's going to be 20. Okay, so that's what you're going to use to cut this piece. This piece is serving as the lining and as the main fabric. Okay, lining and main fabric. So divide your bust by 2. Okay, and then use the measurements to cut out this piece. Okay, and then the length is from one underbust to the second underbust. So for me, I'm having 19 inches right here. So I didn't add any sewing allowance to it because the fabric is a very stretchy fabric, so you don't need to add any sewing allowance to it. Do you understand what I'm trying to explain? Please, if you have any question, drop it on the comment section. So we are going to fold this into 2 like this. Okay, so when you fold it into 2, it's going to give you quarter of your bust measurement for this piece. Now for the lower one, okay, remember we measure around the waist measurement, not the main waist. After the underbust, we measure it around. So what I have here is this is 7, okay, the length is 7, okay, the length is 7, but the width is the waist measurement is 29, but I subtracted 1 inch from it because the fabric is very stretchy. Okay, so I subtracted 1 inch from it. I did not add any sewing allowance to it. Note, I did not add any sewing allowance to it. I subtracted 1 inch from it, so it's going to be 7 inches. So I cut 14 inches. When you open it up, it's going to be 14 inches. When you fold it, it's going to be 7. I didn't add any sewing allowance to it too because it's going to be serving as the lining and the main piece. Okay, I use it as the lining and the main piece. So if you want to use another lining for it, you could cut just your 7 inches by your waist measurement, then subtract 1 inch from the waist measurement. For me, I cut the waist measurement minus 1. Okay, minus 1. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So I cut 14 because I want to use it as the lining also. Do you understand? So for this small piece, we are going to go ahead and sew it and then flip it inside out. We're going to use 1/2 inch to stitch it all the way, and then we're going to leave that part open and we flip it inside out. Now for this small piece, let's set it aside. Let's work on the upper part of the top. So for the upper part, we're going to fold it into 2 equal parts like this, and then we're going to go ahead and use our pins to secure it in place like this. So go ahead and just secure it in place using your pin to pin it all the way. You know the fabric is very stretchy, so you need to pin it together before you start stitching on it. Okay, so after pinning, we are going to stitch like this all the way to the end. Yes, and then we are going to leave both side open. So we'll do the same thing to that small piece. Okay, so at this point I was done stitching. Can you see what we have at that point? So I'm just trying to reduce the allowance a little, trim out that part. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it inside out like you can see me do. Okay, go ahead and turn it inside out. So once you're done turning it inside out, this is what you're going to have. And then the small piece also, we're going to also turn it inside out. You're also going to be having something like this. Okay, so once you're done, I didn't iron mine, so you could go ahead and iron yours because this fabric is so stretchy. So make sure that this seam allowance, this line is facing up. Okay, arrange it in a way that the line is going to be facing up. Okay, can you see what I'm doing, guys? So arrange it. Now after you're done arranging it, you're going to take this lower part of the top, okay, and then just make sure you mark the midpoint, or you could notch it. Okay, you could notch it or use your chalk to mark the midpoint. I didn't notch, I just used my chalk to mark the midpoint. Okay, once you're done notching, open it up this way. Please don't skip any part of this video. So that is the midpoint. Okay, now after marking the midpoint, you're going to grab this upper part. Please watch closely, please. Okay, like I said, this part is going to serve as a lining. Now you're going to place it at the midpoint like this, the middle. Okay, place it to your right. Okay, one is going to go to your right from the midpoint. Okay, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. So you're going to take the second part and place it this way. Make sure that the seam line, okay, is facing you, facing up, like you can see me do. Okay, so all the like I'm saying that the seam line should face up. Okay, now both of them had to meet at the middle. If you want your cleavage to show, you can space it. You can open the middle by 1 inch. Okay, so once you're done, tuck it in like this. Even if you don't open the middle, you're going to see the final look later. So now you're going to take the other part and then place it on top. Midpoint should meet midpoint, and then you're going to go ahead and pin it together. Okay, pin it together like you can see me do. So you're going to pin it all the way from one end to the other. Okay, like I'm saying that if you want your cleavage to open, you can open that part by 1 inch. Okay, but for me, I'm not going to open it up. Okay, if you don't mind, you can open it, but I'm not going to open it up. Okay, so I'm going to close it back. In fact, you can even overlap it. Do you understand? You can overlap that part. It is up to you. Now go ahead and pin it from one end to the other. So I discovered that most people that are watching our videos are not subscribers. Please subscribe to the channel and support me. Thank you. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell and give this video a huge thumbs up. So we're going to take it to our sewing machine and stitch across like this, and then we're going to open it up from that part once we are done stitching. So at this point I was done stitching. I'm just going to go ahead and then reduce the allowance. Okay, I'm going to reduce the sewing allowance a little. Don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up. Subscribe. The subscription button is free. It is free of charge. Oh, thank you very much. So at this point I'm turning it inside out like this. Okay, turning it inside out. So once you're done turning, this is what we're going to have. Okay, so our top is coming together gradually. Can you see the seam line I was talking about? So the seam line is going to face inside. So that is the part that is serving as a lining, and this is the main piece. This is the main clothes. Okay, the top. Hope you understand what I'm trying to explain. So the next thing you're going to do now is you can top stitch on that part. You can top stitch around that part from one end to the other, but I didn't top stitch because there was no need for it. Okay, now the next thing we are going to do is to close the back. Okay, so if you decide to use a fabric that is not stretchy, you can at this point attach your zip to it, but I feel this top is going to look more beautiful on a fabric that is stretchy. Okay, yeah, so I said you can join it in two ways. Is either you align it like this, okay, right side facing right side, and then you're going to use 1/2 inch to just join it all the way around, and then you're going to leave a little opening where you will be turning it inside out. Once you're done, you can put hemming gum inside and iron it, or you can just top stitch. Okay, so that's one way of turning it, of closing that part. But another way is to just put it together like this and just close it like this, and then overlock the rough edges. So this is the final look, guys. So at this point I haven't used any other thing on it, so I'm going to be showing you different ways you can style this top. Okay, so this is the back. Remember, this is not this top is not for the mannequin, so you don't expect it to be 100% fitted on the mannequin. So we're going to turn it like this. So at this point, so this is a small piece, so you could put it in like this and then just stitch on it like this. So I'm going to use my pins to secure it like this, so you can stitch on it and then turn it inside out like this, and then this is the final look you're going to have. Okay, and if you are the type that you do not want your cleavage to open, you can use this, a brooch, to just pin it together. Can you see? So guys, if this tutorial is helpful, subscribe. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell. My name is Esther and this is Q-Est Fashion Hub. Don't stop learning, keep learning, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.